It feels like 2024 is a year filled with basketballs, so I decided to just talk about this particular topic. My top controversial Nigerian musicians. Hey, what's up, beautiful people? It's the Vibe Queen, Omobalabal, and you're tuning to Voicetome for Vibe Zone with the Vibe Queen on Voicetome. Welcome, guys, and on today's episode, I've got a very interesting topic to share with you guys. It feels like 2024 is a year filled with basketballs, so I decided to just talk about this particular topic. My topic on today's program is going to be my top controversial Nigerian musicians. I know some names are coming to mind already, but don't worry, let's go through my own list. So first on the list for me is going to be Blackface. Now, I feel like Blackface is one Nigerian musician that is very extremely controversial. This guy is always in the news for dragging popular musicians, for writing songs for them, and then they don't pay him like homage, or they don't give him like his credits. And people are always complaining, Blackface, they are always stealing your songs. But why don't you now write these songs? Why don't you use it to sing and blow? Well, I don't want drags though, but I'm just saying what is really happening. Like, Blackface is always controversial. Blackface is always in the news, dragging one person, saying this person stole my song, this is my song. It was recently in the news again in this year 2024, before he dragged Two-Face, dragged some popular artists, saying that some of those songs that they get credits for, they get awards for, and they get appraisals for were written by him. Boya, Blackface should write one of these songs for himself and sing it and blow up. Not to be harsh, but it's just somehow. Okay, guys, moving on. Second on the list is going to be Brimo Olawale. Now, this particular one is so hurtful because we respect Brimo a lot than what Brimo has been displaying nowadays. Like, see, Brimo is that particular person that you're trying to talk about the kind of songs that are popular now, and you're trying to say that, I miss the old days. Like, I miss the past where people used to dish out songs that had like messages. But then people will now say, but well, at least we still have a few of them that give us meaningful songs. And people will mention Brimo. But now, Brimo is tilting towards being controversial than being that particular legend that dishes out meaningful songs. Brimo has recently dragged Simi and Adekunle Gold. Brimo is just always in the news nowadays for being controversial, for dragging people left and right. And we're like, what happened? Brimo, your songs are still doing well. Is it like there's no hit song again, or what? Why are you in the news all the time for these kind of reasons? Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, moving on my list is going to be Omo. I hate to mention this, but I feel like this person is going to be controversial for a very long time. And I'm talking about Naira Marley. Now, of course, people have always dragged Naira Marley because of his, Malian school, Malian group, that people always refer to him because he's the CEO of Malian music, right? And people have always dragged him because he's always saying stuff like Malians do not, use belts, they always sag, Malians do not do this and that. But recently it got really worse because after the death of Mohbad, there were some allegations that were pointing fingers to him, like some allegations stating that it probably was one of the reasons that Mohbad was bullied while alive, and that could have led to his death. So ever since then, people have been dragging him to the extent that people unfollowed him, after the announcement of the death of Mohbad and the videos that surfaced online. People unfollowed him and threatened that if he should drop a song, they are not going to listen to it. And yes, in 2024, Malian music CEO Naira Marley actually dropped a song, but that song did not really do well. We're not like, they're going to have to drag Naira Marley for a long time. Although it feels like he's not affected because he keeps doing videos and he's like, oh, you people go talk tire, but I'm still going to keep doing my stuff. But that does not eradicate his name from the list of Nigerian musicians that are currently very controversial. Now, guys, moving on, I'm going to be talking about Oladips. You see, I don't know how Oladips got on this list, but I mean, it was after the news of his death broke the internet, where everyone, like, we were all. I personally wrote, Omo, I just wish this is a prank because I'm a fan of this guy. Like, Oladips is a very cool guy. He sings well, and he's also one of the, Nigerian musicians that relates to his fans well. I remember when I used to do skits with a partner then. He was a huge fan of us, and he used to like reach out to us, send us comments on our videos and do like stuff like that. So when I heard of the news, I really felt bad, and especially because I wasn't following his account with my new account. But I mean, it came back to life, and ever since, like this nickname of, I don't know how to say it in English, but it means, Lazarus. Yeah, let me use Lazarus. Like, people have been actually calling him Lazarus, like Foniku for Ladide. May God not let that one be our own lot too. But I mean, the news of his death broke the internet, and then we heard again that he is alive. And because at that time when it happened, it was the time when Mohbad's news, the death of Mohbad, was trending, and people were like, is it because you saw that people really loved Mohbad and they were really wishing that he should come back to life? Is that why you had to do that, to probably trend? And I feel like another reason why people do not still believe that he was sick and was almost or was dying was also because immediately after it was announced that he came back to life was when he dropped an album. So people were like, oh, is this a promotional strategy? Even though till date, Oladips will never accept that that was faked. We don't know the truth, but I mean, it feels like Oladips is going to be on the list of controversial Nigerian musicians for a long while. Okay, guys, another person that is on this list is going to be my own OBO. I hate to actually include his name, but it feels like OBO is never leaving this list soon. I know that they say if you're going to be great, like, you will see Gazbos, but OBO zone. If they're not dragging OBO today for dating one foreigner, they're dragging OBO tomorrow for owing or for maybe collecting money for a show and not going. Like, there's just been a lot of controversies around OBO. And lately, it's even been tougher because he's now been between like two of the biggest Nigerian arts, OBO, Davido, and Wizkid. I mean, the basketballs recently of Wizkid dragging OBO with one distasteful video and then OBO coming back at him and all of that. It feels like Davido is going to be on this list for a long while. Now, Wizkid is not supposed to be on this list because everybody is always saying Wizkid minds his business. He hardly talks. But you see, recently, following the circumstances that occurred, in Wizkid's life, it feels like Wizkid just reviewed a side of him, and Wizkid has been so throwing savage responses. And the one that is paining me is the fact that Wizkid is also insulting his own fans. Like, Wizkid will say, bye bitches, don't disturb me, you guys should go and, like, okay, we get it. Like, you throw banters at your colleagues, but your fans, and at the end of the day, they say, you have to be loyal to your master, because even though they say stupid fans, bitches, blah blah blah, I mean, Wizkid's fans will still call him Popsy. I am a fan, but you see, me, I'm not a bitch. Another person that has joined this list, especially this year, is my Rema. Like, Rema, I feel like, what's going on? What's going on with our guys? Because it feels like they just look at it, just like my colleague was saying recently, that it feels like sometimes most of these celebrities just look at it that everywhere is too calm. Let's shake table. Let's just cause chaos. And, Rema just came out this year. He has done something like that. I think he did something like that, something similar in 2023. But this one, Bazbos on Twitter, he called out his label, called out celebrities who get costumes in his name, like, called out even the big artist, his fellow big artist in the industry, called out, say, he said something about them not saying big three in the Afrobeat space, that they should say it is big four now, all of that. And that led to a lot of controversies, especially on Twitter. So yes, Rema is on this list. Now, guys, another person that is going to be on this list is Skibi. Tell me why Skibi has trended before for faking death and resurrecting. And Skibi has trended also before for dramas with his exes. Now, this year 2024, that is still fresh. We just entered into the second quarter, but Skibi is already on the controversial list because somebody accused him, and of course, not just somebody, like a popular person on social media, Mickey the Barbie. She accused him of, poisoning her, and she even said that he wanted to use her for ritual, but then later she figured that it could be drug, put into a drink, and she said, yeah, they found some, drugs in her system, which insinuated that she was actually drugged, like drug was inserted into a drink. But people were saying she doesn't drink, and people were like, how did that get there? But then they brought out the picture of her like smoking shisha, and they were like, if you don't drink and you don't smoke, will you be doing this? But that's not even the gist, because she's not a musician. I'm talking about musicians. But the summary of the gist is that Skibi is sha on this list, and it's looking like if Skibi does not retrace his step, and it's looking like if Skibi does not retrace his steps and look for something, you're about to say Woro Confi Shada. It looks like Skibi is going to be on this list for a longer period of time. Now, guys, the last person I'm going to be talking about is Oluwa Burna. Even though I do not know how Burna Boy gets on this list, I feel like it's just Burna Boy is always getting on the controversial list because he's on his own. And him being on his own, it feels like I am in my own world. So when people come at him, he definitely talks. Like, he is not afraid to spew like stuff out. And recently, people said, you see this ongoing drama between Davido and Whiskey, they cannot take it to Burna Boy, because Burna Boy is that artist that he will come at you with his full chest. Burna Boy is also that person that, as a fan, if he's performing and you trouble him, Burna Boy will throw you something. So Burna Boy is not going to leave this list anytime soon. Did I say that's the last person? How? When I have not mentioned Portable. I feel like that's the person that is kinging on this list at the moment, because Portable is always on the controversial list. But all up, in an interview, he said that sometimes he does this on purpose, because if he's not controversial, he's not going to be relevant. And if he's not relevant, like, he's not going to be making money. So we get it. But can somebody tell Portable to always take it easy too? Portable will get on the list. If not with music, by calling out, artists, he's going to, call out somebody that is trending. Even if the person is not a musician, he's going to make a song from a trending issue, whether a celebrity is involved or not. Portable's family alone will make him enter this list, because he and his numerous wives are always having dramatic experiences, dramatic displays. So you see why Portable is not leaving the list anytime soon. In fact, left to me, in my opinion, Portable is kinging on this list, because 2024 that just started, do you know how many times Portable has been involved in controversies and has been on this list and has caused katakata on social media platforms? Portable has to be the king of controversies when it comes to controversial Nigerian musicians. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this particular episode of the Vibe Zone with the Vibe Queen on Voicetome. Who did I not mention? But it's very controversial. Drop your answers in the comment section. Remember to like, share with your friends, and also please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Voicetome and Afrobeat Global. You can find us on Instagram at Voicetome, and also search our sister brand at Afrobeat Global. And you can find me on Instagram at Omobolanle Adigun _. This is where I draw the curtains and say goodbye. Stay safe. I love you. Mwah. Till we meet again on my next episode. Bye.